Angels owner Arte Moreno insulted the entire team's fan base when he said, look, our fans don't care about winning. It's not even a top 5 priority.
That's what I wrote down. Not even. That's the funniest part. Winning isn't in the fans' top 5.
According to this mystery survey from Angels fans that nobody even knows
Are
about.
Are these the same surveys on Family Feud where you're like, top 100 people surveyed? Like, who gets surveyed?
He's saying that the fans were surveyed and they don't care about winning. They care about affordability, safety and affordability, which, again, those are important things, no doubt. You take your family out. You want to feel safe. In fact, Rich, didn't you just cancel your Mexico trip because you want to have a relaxing, worry-free, safe vacation?
I'm not trying to overreact, but, you know.
It's the smart, right thing to do. You're a parent.
I'm a dad. I got 2 little ones that depend on me. So my wife and I said,
We're
pivot.
in LA. You can go to Mexico anytime.
Let's go to the Dominican Republic, and I could also recruit some great baseball players while I'm there.
Right now is not the best time for that, right? Even though you're probably going to be fine in Riviera Maya or wherever, but why take the chance? So we're not saying safety doesn't matter. We're not saying affordability doesn't matter. But if you ask a sports fan what their priorities are when it comes to their team, wouldn't winning probably be number 1, if not a real close number 2? I can't even imagine what would come before winning. It's sports. It's why we watch. It's why we invest. It's why we root.
Winning. I mean, it's the name of the game. Thank you, Charlie Sheen. You know, when you coach little kids or you got little ones, there comes a point where you're like, we're here to have fun, right, kids? And then they hit an age where it's like, and win. Like, you don't play
right, because
to
winning's
not win.
fun.
Like, listen,
losing's not fun.
You may say I'm too competitive, but Danny, if me, you, Covino, Iowa Sam, Dan Byer, if we went bowling or to play mini golf or to the driving range, I couldn't not try to be better than you guys. And I would hope the same from you guys. Like, I can't.
You're oddly annoyingly competitive where there's no chill, like, so it takes the fun away from it.
But you tell me if you
I
and I went
can't
bowling,
hate on your competitive spirit, but it's annoying.
If you and I went bowling, you wouldn't try to beat me?
You always have an inner desire to win, but you're like overboard about it, where like you make it awkward. So I mean, like
Steve
everybody,
Reich, got him.
Exactly. We all want to win.
Who do you think you are?
I do think when it comes to like us hanging out, that's where fun is more of a priority than winning.
I get it, but I mean,
no, it's not, because that's still the priority.
Maybe
for
I just want to win all the time.
Right.
You should be happy I'm your co-host because I want to beat the ass of every other show.
But I would say in that situation, like me having fun with Danny G, Dan Byer, and Sam is the priority, not beating Dan Byer and making him feel bad about it.
Yeah. And I think at a sporting event, you want to be comfortable. You know, you heard the stories about the old Boston Red Sox seats that were built for people in the
comfort.
Yeah, in the early 1900s, and they had to renovate, obviously, so people could actually fit in the aisleways and the seats. As long as the ballpark is comfortable, then I think the number 1 priority would obviously be winning.
You know, it's like when I went mini golfing with Dan Byer.
Yeah.
And I was like, shooter. and he was like, this is no fun with you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be too competitive when you're hanging with your buddies. But let's play devil's advocate here.
It's a big butt.
I love big butts. Is there something to be said about today's economy, today's family, and just being able to take your family somewhere affordable?
All right. You've heard the phrase counter-programming, most recently with the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm not getting into that, but a lot of times you say, all right, there's an audience that doesn't want this. What might they want? And if you live in Los Angeles, there's a good chance why would you not be on the Dodgers bandwagon or be a lifetime fan? But there is a reason why you'd be like, well, it's awfully expensive. I have to go to, it's not easy to get to Dodger Stadium. Like, you got to counter program and be like, all right, what are they doing? The Angels aren't going to be better than the Dodgers. They're not going to have the star power.
Yeah, but they might be winning over a lot of fans who don't have the money to spend on Dodgers tickets.
But that's the point.
Right.
When I lived in New York, if I wanted to go to a basketball game, I could spend $500 to go to a Knicks game, or I could go to a Nets game when they were in Jersey for like $40.
So you're thinking about let's say the parents of this family, right? They're taking their kids there. Those kids are now growing up Angels fans because that's what their family could afford. So the thinking's not that crazy when you really dive into it. I just find it kind of hard to believe that winning's still not the priority. Or you're going to tell me all these seats are being filled by people who are like, you know what, screw that. I just want to show my kids, my family, a good time. Tourist attraction, you're in Anaheim, you're by Disney, you're just trying to get people to go to a game, experience the ballpark. Maybe that is the angle here, but, this is Major League Baseball. I don't think any fans out there want to hear this from the owner, right? Because you still want the illusion that your team is going to be competitive. And if that's not part of the priority, then it sort of makes you not want to watch. I get going there and being able to afford it, and I get the, like you said, counter-programming of this thought process.
You're History Channel boy.
I am.
I've seen you on History Channel when they talk about Transformers, and then there were Gobots. Gobots made $1 billion. You know why? Because not everyone could afford and get Transformers, so there were kids that are like, yeah, I guess I got Gobots.
Gobots were also the original. A lot of people confused the two. They were there first, but they were the cheaper option,
It's
right?
like when you went to the pharmacy and got like generic wrestling figures that you would mix in with your, like other wrestling figures. There's a market for it, and I guess what I'm doing is I'm calling the Angels Gobots and generic wrestling figures because
here comes the Gobot Command Center.
Gobots.
Like, we all wanted Transformers, but every once in a while you did get a Gobot. We all want to see teams like the Dodgers, but maybe the Angels are the team that you could afford.
Can I tell you another angle?
So I don't hate on the family by any means that are just trying to show their kids a good time, especially if you got more than 2 kids. That's Danny G, you got a lot of kids. How much is a day at Dodger Stadium for real? With
Daddy's got
with
9
tickets
kids.
and concessions and everything else.
Yeah, we went to opening night a few seasons ago, and it was $950 for
Is
the
that
night
for
after
real?
everything was said. Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
insane.
Tickets, parking, food. Now, it was opening night, but it's still.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So,
it just a random, Tuesday game at the park could cost your family $700 easy.
and I don't think any competitive fan really ever wants to hear that. But there might be some truth to what he's saying because there's a market for affordability when other ticket prices, especially in Los Angeles, are so expensive.
The Mets play the Dodgers during the week. So not even what you would call a primo game, right? Like going to the stadium on a Tuesday or Wednesday that's by no means the same as going to like a weekend game, right? Weekend games, way more expensive because families and people are off, correct? The Mets are playing the Dodgers. I picked a Wednesday night when they're playing, middle of the week. Field level, if you want to be in the lower section, about $300 of tickets for Mets-Dodgers. Upper deck, starting at $80. Now, on a Friday night down in Anaheim, Mets are visiting the Angels. Field level, $120, upper deck, $25. That's
And if your
3
kids
times more.
aren't that invested, or you're just a casual
I
fan
know what you're saying. You're
looking
like, well,
for a good time.
Don't they want to see Shohei and Mookie and Freddie? Of course they do, which is why you go to the Dodgers. But family affordability would tell you it is a third of the price to go to Angels games.
And maybe that really is their business model and who they're marketing to. But again, like I said, as a fan, or if you're a Mike Trout, like you don't want to. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that truth.
Yeah.
Like
on Love Is Blind. When
sometimes you just want to be lied to.
On Love Is Blind, when that doofy dude Chris asked the other girl, like, "Yo, is he the best you ever had in bed?" And she's like, "I mean, like, not the best." My heart crushed for that guy.
I'm so glad you said that. You know what
He
we
was like,
want to hear? We want to, even if it's not true, you are the best I ever had. That's what you want to hear.
You want
We
your
wanna
owner.
hear-
You want your owner to say, "We try to win the World Series every year." Not, winning's
You
not a
wanna hear,
priority.
hey,
In fact,
this
it's
is-
not top 5.
This is Major League Baseball. Winning's always a priority. That's a given. But when it comes to our fans, we want to provide an affordable, safe experience. Like you're the owner of a major franchise. That's how you make this statement? I came up with a better statement in 2 seconds.
Hey, Covino, who's the best lover you've ever had?
Let me think. I don't know. The person I'm with right now. That's how you gotta phrase it. There's no other. Like, honesty's not the best policy when it comes to
what's
this
the best
stuff.
job you ever had? The one I have now.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio. So this is the one paying me.
So to
That's
me,
why.
it's just weird when the owner says it. And I find the funniest part, Danny, you and Covino both pointed out, this mystery survey that no one could really find, you know?
Right. It sounds like what's that stuff I wash my junk with in the shower?
Hogwash?
Yeah, it sounds like hogwash. It sounds like something he made up and he just gave the business model out to the public, and it got fans really upset about it. Like, yeah, man, we don't want to root for some team that doesn't even think of winning as a priority.
Yeah, there were some Angels fans in the comments upset saying, look, love the stadium experience and the fact I can afford to go, but I still want to see my team win, obviously.
Right. And plus, you know what puts people in the seats? Yeah, affordability, all that stuff, but winning, man. Winning. I don't think the Dodgers are struggling. You know why? Because they're winning.
And Rich made a great point in our pre-show meeting. If your team is winning, it was the only one you made today. But if your team is winning, fans understand the ticket hike.
Hey, dude, if you build it, they will come. I've heard that somewhere. And, yeah, Rich, that is a great point.
But you never hear
fans understand. Like, you know what? Hey, ticket prices are high, but, man, they got Shohei, they got Freddie, they got Mookie Betts. They're winning. Like, it's a hot ticket.
It's
you
not
expect to pay big money for a hot ticket.
You don't look at Dodger Stadium and say, look at all those empty seats. It's filled because they'll go to less games, but they'll go. Everyone wants to go. Like, if you build it, they will come. I said, as a Mets fan, when Stevie Cohen, Uncle Stevie says, we're going to spend a ton of money on these players, ticket sales reflect. And you know what people love to say? Well, I wonder how much a hot dog's going to be now. You know what? If a hot dog's $1.50 extra, but you have Juan Soto, I'm okay with that.
But the truth is, Rich,
I don't
here's
get
here's the weak truth about it.
I can taste the payroll in this.
It's professional
I'd rather
sports.
taste the payroll in it than win 60 games.
It's professional sports, and you think that winning should be number one.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, it's still a business. And that's why when we go on vacation, we'd all love to stay at the W Hotel or the Sassy Resort.
Four
But you know
Seasons.
what? Yeah, we all want to stay at the Four Seasons, the Dodgers. But not everyone has Four Seasons Dodgers money, and you have to market and make some profit off the people that don't.
Dan Byer, what's up, man?
I just keep thinking of the owner that, to your point, that doesn't put safety first. And the news report at night that's like, Dodgers, they've won 12 in a row. But first, 87 people injured at Dodger Stadium because of fights at tonight's Dodgers
There was a
game.
stabbing in parking lot E, but we're on a 9-game winning streak.
Let's throw it over to Section H where there's another stabbing.
So here we are.
But this story's gone viral enough because people are like, why would an owner say that?
A safety cost, good concession stands? I can't even think of 5 things.
I think that matters. So, hey, they have a great experience. The food is great. I think food is great is a top 5 priority, but it should be. Yeah, some of those are just a given, though.
Yeah.
Like, how do you rank things that just should be, like safety?